Hello all, welcome to this channel on Learn to Excel. You're with me, Shamila. So today we're going to speak about communication skills, that is English communication skills, the importance of English communication and tips to how to improve English communication skills. So let me give you a brief background on how I got inspired on this particular topic. Actually, through our organization, from our office, we did a community service to help students from government colleges to provide them some training which will help them. And when I asked them about what they would be interested and what they would want to learn, this was one of the topic which they felt they would want to learn. So English communication, they felt it is going to help them in their college, or even if they want to attend some interviews, job interviews, or join some job, it will help them in getting the job and also to grow in the job. English communication is very important, and today's session specifically, we will see how important it is. Okay, so let's get started. So this actually in continuation of the communication training that we did few weeks ago. So in this program, we will see English communication, the importance of English communication, and tips to improve English speaking and writing skills. Okay, so let's see what is the importance of English communication. There are many reasons to learn English, whether it is for personal reasons or study, work related, can be anything. So if we understand the importance of English communication, we will definitely want to better ourselves in English communication. The first and foremost is that it is the most commonly spoken language in the world. So there are around 7,117 languages in the world, but out of which 40% is almost like endangered, with just less than 1,000 speakers remaining. Okay, so there are at least 23 languages out of those 7,000 plus, which account for half the world population. That's just for information. So English communication in specific, if we take, it might not be the most um, uh, widely spoken language in the world, but it is the official language in many countries. So it is estimated that the number of people who use English to communicate on a regular basis is around 2 billion. So the world population is 8 billion. Now you can imagine what 2 billion means. It is 25% of the world population uses English either as native language or as a medium of communication, right? So it is that very important. So it is that commonly spoken language in the world. So next important thing is it is the language of international business. So we can say it is the most used language when it comes to business. And it is also at most necessary for people to speak in English if they are into any business, not necessarily a business, it can be work, studies, or business. That's mainly because market is no more local. It's now a global market and cannot be understated. And learning English can really help us in that. So the reason why English language remains to be language of business is because 2 centuries, for the last 2 centuries, Great Britain and United States made the most economic growth. Since these two nations have made the most, and their native language is English, that's become as the most dominant language in international business. So let's say that you do not get into any international companies. Even then, say even if you enter an Indian company for that matter, and not any international, still Indian companies deal with world market for various reasons, from getting their supplies to the time it might reach the customers. So it's become like a language of international business, and it is very important to learn English communication. Third thing is that it is easy to learn. If you look at the alphabets, the 26 alphabets, and I would say that this is the most easiest language to learn and to use as compared to any other language in the world. So it can be learned quickly. So learning another language isn't just about communication or just for professional purpose. It will also give you lots of benefits. Even if we have to learn other languages, say for example, you want to learn other languages, even then English is used as a source for translation to learn. Okay, so it is within the 26 alphabets and we get to learn the language. Okay, so it helps us to understand other languages. It can be used around the world. As I mentioned, 2 billion population use English as a medium of communication, either as native or language of communication. So it is the most commonly used language among all the foreign languages spoken. So throughout the world, when people from different nationalities want to communicate, they naturally come to use English language. We can say or call English as a language of communication. So why speak of the world? Let's take even within India, right? With the number of languages that we have in India, um, I think English can be a common medium of communication between people within India as well, and it is the most easiest language to learn. So it might help us to connect with people all over the world or within the country easily, right? So it can be used around the world. It's a language of internet. That is one other important thing why we need to learn English communication. So the if you look at internet, right, most of the content produced on the internet, almost 50% is in English. So knowing English will help us or give us access to immense amount of information which may not be available otherwise. Okay, so although learning English can be a little challenge and little time consuming, I think the amount of benefit it would bring in, it is definitely advisable that we can spend in that much amount of time and effort to learn the language. So, English is one common language, and most of the internet pertaining to science or technology or anything related to a spiritual education, anything at all, you name it, right? So, even advertising is mostly done in English to reach wider population across the world. So, it is a language of internet, and it is good for us to learn English communication. Studying English can help us get a job, not just get a job, but also do great job at work. So all over the world, speaking English immediately opens up a lot of opportunities. So being able to communicate in English will provide us more opportunities. So first thing, we will have opportunity to apply for various jobs. Okay, requiring English. So we can get our dream job if we are able to converse in English. So let me tell you, I have seen many people who are really great at work in what they do, okay, but just because they're not that great with English communication, they lose the opportunity to grow beyond what they are in the company. So just with little time and effort, one can learn a great amount. So it helps us to engage better with people at work and at the same time get the job done easily. So it helps us to save time and help us to grow in the organization. So it is very important that English language in speaking, in writing, which will definitely help you to do great at work. Next thing is that learning English can help you meet new people. So English lets you feel the culture of the world. So as I mentioned, since it's a common language and common medium of communication, it helps us to meet new people. if you look at the film industry, it's the English language. So even if other languages movies come up, it gets translated in English because that's become like a most common medium of communication. So you'll be able to read lot, you'll be able to speak to people, get to know them, right? And learning English will definitely help you to meet up with new people. So traveling is becomes a lot more easier whether you want to travel across the world or within the country as well. Since it's a common medium of communication, it will help you and come handy in many ways, to get to know people, to reach to the destination where you want to, or to achieve whatever you're wanting to do. All right, because English communication, as a language, it helps you to converse with people and to pass on the information what you're intending to pass on, right? So traveling becomes that much easier if you're good at English. And with English you can also study all over the world. So since it is an internationally recognized language and a language of science, most of the knowledge related to computer or health or anything it could be, right, it is in English. So being able to use English will definitely help you in studying anywhere in the world that you want to. So these are the various importance of English. Um, Whether you're a student or you're a office goer or you're doing a business, it definitely helps you uh, in various forms, right, to grow or achieve whatever you want to in life. Or so. Know the importance of English communication and put in little time and effort to improve English communication, whether it is in writing, speaking, and you will see great amount of improvement in your life. So this is just the importance of English communication. In the next session, we will see some of the tips on how to improve your English communication skills. Okay, so thanks for being with me in this training session. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave your comments in the comments box. Thanks so much.